Today I'm taking you through what's in my audio and lighting workbox. Okay then, so this is the case that I use to keep all the equipment in. It is a HPRC 255W. It is basically the equivalent of a Pelican 310. It's air travelled compatible, so it's good for going in the overhead storage bins. Not that I travel with this, but if you ever did need to, it is there ready to go. On top, because I do use this currently as a combi case, sometimes it has camera equipment in. A bunch of Lightroom, Premiere Pro and Photoshop. There's also Apple and a Random Ninja, because why not? So let's start off by opening this little case up. Now on the inside, the dividers we're going to be using, as you can see probably just slightly, is the ones included in the case. I don't know what I'm going to move to, but I am going to say something about the lid, which will be happening soon. But if we open the case and let it lock into place, that is one thing about this case, it does, the roof locks in. But before we get started, I want to talk about the roof, and then we'll look at all that equipment that lives there. So if we just look at the roof here, this currently is this kind of foam. And, you know, if anyone knows Pelican cases, you know you can get a fancy thing for there. So, give me a few weeks, and this is going to change completely. But, anyway. Back down here. So this case is designed for me to do both live sound and lighting. So there'll be some DMX, there'll be some lighting things in here, and there'll just be a mixture of things. This is also like set up to do installs and, you know, maintain equipment, because that is another part of what I end up doing. But, you know, basically this can do everything from setting up to maintaining to installing. You name it, I can do it. So we'll just start nearest to the camera, nearest to you guys just here, which is this thing right here. Everyone has these pair of gloves, very, very simple. When you're loading in speakers, loading in lights, loading in truss, loading in staging, gloves are just useful. And these are definitely not taped. If anyone's ever been in this industry, you'll know electrical tape is your favourite thing. Now there is some more stuff below, so below I just have a random little USB plug, useful for front of house, useful for on stage, useful for charging things, just useful, even though most things are USB-C these days. And then below it I have my in-ear monitors in a Bowie case, why not? But yeah, in-ear monitors, which if I just get these out for you here, consist of a adapter to use 3.5mm on 1/4 inch, and then the actual in-ear monitors themselves, and that is literally all that's in there. Not custom moulded, they're just some generic cheap ones that I just use for monitoring. They're not cheap, but you know, they have good sound quality, but nothing else. Nothing else in this pocket, completely empty. Next along is my in-ear monitor support kit, so whether a band member needs this or whether I need it. It's basically a really long 1/4 inch cable and some other things in there, but nothing too interesting. Really long support cable, most important thing. There's the first two pockets. Next we have a little random 3mm kind of tripod with kind of extension here. So, you know, need to put a camera somewhere, need to put a monitor somewhere, microphone as well, kick mic, if you want to put a kick mic on here, it will do the job. In a pinch, it's a really good compact little thing to have, and I do like having it on me. Next, again, kind of sitting in with the install Pro Floatants, we've got a Draper little mini ratchet set. Great when lights break, absolutely brilliant when you're assembling custom pieces of set, all that kind of stuff. It just really is useful to have with you. Moving on to the next pocket. This pocket again contains some tools and mark. First off, we just got a random set of kind of blunt nose, tough grip pliers. Again, installs, cables, anything. Very useful to have. We then have my Milwaukee flashlight, torch, whatever you want to call it. Needing the batteries, but things not even turning on. And notice there's one thing, I do want to point this out. If you're climbing truss, which I don't do much of, but if you do need to climb truss, tethered. I attach this onto me. If I drop my torch, it ain't going anywhere. Okay, and if I drop it whilst walking around, ain't going anywhere. I always have it with me. Can't lose it. It is brilliant. Also, Sony, your autofocus is so slow. Come on, I was just talking all good about you earlier, Sony. There we go. But yeah, Milwaukee flashlight. Probably going to go with like a rechargeable one in the next year or so. Then we get on to our first multimeter. Now, if for whatever reason we need some complex multimetering, which is the purpose of this multimeter right here, we can do some complex multimetering, you know, checking continuity, whatnot. And then it's just got two blunt end probes. Our final pocket on this front row here, selection of 3 different colour permanent marker pens, very useful to have. Bunch of random pens and highlighters, good for note taking, writing on scripts, cue sheets, whatever. what I like to call my onstage keyring. So this just has a bunch of random stuff on it. I'm going to show you what it has on quickly. So a Allen key set. We actually have 2 of these lying around. Drum key, and then just like a random kind of hex bolt key, which is also useful. All on a nice little carabiner. If you're doing on truss as well, lock in. If you're climbing, beautiful for holding keys, beautiful for holding random stuff like that. And finally, an assortment of cables. This is one to charge the iPhone, USB-C to USB-C, USB to iPhone, all sorts of things. Not entertaining at all. Next, a big elephant in the room is my M-Audio USB interface. So if you're using measurement mics, if you just need an audio interface to put someone's, phone into, laptop connection if your console doesn't have a USB connection or you don't want to use 3.5mm, this is a great little tool to use. Headphone, we have plenty of outputs, so line output, line inputs, phantom power as well, so if you need to phantom power something on stage, really useful to have. Next pocket is another set of multimeter probes. These are more like fine circuitry, it's photos there, fine circuitry probes. So this is good when lights and stuff go bad, and also when speakers go bad, and need that finer control. Next, just kind of a adjustable set of pliers, again for sorting bolts out and whatnot, very useful. A basic multimeter for testing batteries and whatnot, also finds cables on the wall, useful. I use this one more than I use the other one just because it's quicker, easier, and it can do everything that I need it to do testing wise. And it has a torch. Also in here, very common for people to have these actually. Normally you'd have the Bosch one, but I've got this one, which is a laser distance finder. Which, if you want to measure a room, if you want to measure your distance from front of house to your speakers, brilliant piece of kit right there. Next, I've got my tape ring. Okay, I think everyone has tape with you. Again, venues should provide you with tape, but if they don't, always have some with you. All different colours: black, yellow, red, black, earthen, white, name it, we got it. And whilst we're on topic of tape, some random gaff tape. Should be black really. Having silver in this industry isn't really good enough. Anyway, moving on. We next have, again, kind of a little onstage support pouch that I like to have with me, which carries a Milwaukee impact bit for my stage lights that I own personally. Bunch of zip ties, because zip ties very useful in the little packet there. Tape measure Uno from Draper, and then there's literally just a bunch of random dongles, so Apple, HDMI to VGA, all sorts of random stuff in there, a few other random cables. Again, it's just kind of useful to have with you. I did forget something. Another good thing that I keep on me is a bunch of carabiners and clips. Again, when you're jamming up, you want to just have carabiners to hold something. These aren't climbing carabiners, but they are good for holding stuff. Holding stuff on you, I should mention. Perfect tool right there. Next, I think every sound engineer has one of these, and it's literally just a bunch of cables. So I've got XLR, quarter-inch thing for the M-Audio, Malark, which I do lighting as well, DMX, little jumper, and then another random cable. Then I put these back in because they're just kind of in the way otherwise. And everyone doesn't like the cable pouch in a audio engineer's workbox. And then finally, to aid in fixing and installing, just another Draper kit with a few more tools in. Pliers, snips, Allen keys, more assortment bits, and a nice driver, which is all very important. So then, just like that, that is what is in my, I was about to say Pelican, but it is HPRC 255W, basically the equivalent of a Pelican 1510. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, do not forget to subscribe, leave a like, and check out my next video. Bye for now.